Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive in solitude, while others can't stand a single quiet night alone? Society often labels people who are always alone as antisocial, cold, or even broken. But what if that's not the truth at all? What if solitude hides rare personality traits that only a few people truly understand? You see, the psychology of solitude isn't about loneliness, it's about depth. It's about people whose inner world psychology is so rich that ordinary conversations just don't cut it. Let's be honest. If you've ever asked yourself, "Why do I have no friends?" or felt different from others, chances are you're not weird. You're just wired differently. The signs of a deep thinker, the misunderstood people, the ones who overthink, reflect deeply, and often feel misunderstood, they all share something powerful. These individuals often carry a high IQ and emotional intelligence that make them see through life in ways most can't. And that's exactly why intelligent people and loners tend to walk a lonely but strong path. Here's the twist. Being alone by choice isn't a flaw, it's a form of freedom. The psychology of solitude reveals that people who isolate themselves sometimes do so not out of fear or social anxiety, but because they're focused on mindset development, self-awareness psychology, and mental health self-improvement. They're not avoiding the world, they're studying it from the outside. And in the next few minutes, you'll discover the hidden signs, the rare mindset traits, and the deep personality types that make these people so fascinating and so misunderstood. The hidden power behind choosing solitude. There's a big difference between being lonely and being alone by choice. People who are always alone often carry a deep self-awareness psychology that makes them crave peace over chaos. While others chase constant social validation, they find comfort in quiet moments, reflecting, creating, and growing. For them, solitude isn't isolation, it's a recharge station. Think of it like plugging your phone in overnight. Only in this case, they're charging their soul, sharpening their thoughts, and rebuilding their mindset. It's not about escaping people, it's about connecting deeper with themselves. Most misunderstood people don't realize how powerful this quiet strength really is. The personality traits of loners often show high emotional intelligence and an overthinking personality that leads to profound insights. They might seem distant, but inside, their minds are running marathons of deep self-reflection. They analyze their emotions, question their beliefs, and study their own psychology of solitude. Some even journal daily, meditate, or take silent walks to process life. They're not hiding, they're mastering themselves, a skill that many overlook in the noise of social life. But here's the catch. Solitude has a dual edge. When used wisely, it fuels growth. When misunderstood, it breeds loneliness psychology. People with a rare mindset trait know this balance well. They protect their space fiercely, yet remain aware of when solitude starts to turn into isolation. It's that thin line between peace and emptiness. And understanding where that line lies, that's what separates those who thrive alone from those who suffer in silence. The deep thinker's mind, when silence speaks louder than words. People who are always alone often carry the signs of a deep thinker. They live inside their heads, analyzing every detail, every emotion, every what if. Their minds are like libraries filled with thoughts few ever get to read. This overthinking personality isn't a weakness. It's a rare form of awareness. They observe before they speak, and when they finally do, their words often hit deeper than 1,000 casual conversations. You'll rarely find them talking just to fill the silence. They talk to share meaning. That's part of their misunderstood genius. Many of these individuals develop an introvert personality that values reflection over reaction. They don't rush to respond to the world. They study it first. For example, while most scroll mindlessly on social media, a deep thinker might be journaling about why people isolate themselves or reading a book like Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. This slow, introspective approach gives them a level of clarity most people miss. Their solitude becomes a mirror reflecting truths that others run from. But this depth comes at a cost. The more they understand, the harder it becomes to connect with surface-level conversations. Intelligent people and loneliness often go hand in hand because awareness can be isolating. When you see the world differently, you feel differently too. Yet that's the paradox. They may feel lonely, but they're never truly alone. Their inner world psychology is vibrant, alive, and full of meaning. And this inner richness sets the stage for something even deeper, a quiet resilience that few ever notice until life tests them. The quiet strength of misunderstood souls. Being misunderstood isn't a curse. It's often the first sign of a rare and deep personality type. People who are always alone tend to experience this constantly. Their mindset development runs deeper than most realize. They question norms, they reject shallow validation, and they choose depth over popularity. Society often labels that as antisocial traits, when in reality, it's a reflection of clarity. They simply refuse to trade authenticity for acceptance, and that takes a quiet kind of courage, the lonely but strong mindset that thrives even without applause. These individuals often find themselves wondering, why do I push people away? But the truth is, they don't push people away. They repel energy that doesn't match their vibration. Their self-awareness psychology helps them recognize shallow intentions, manipulation, or inauthenticity from miles away. So instead of forcing friendships that drain them, they protect their peace. Think about it. Would you rather have 10 casual connections or 2 real ones that understand your soul? For these people, the answer is always obvious. And yet behind that emotional armor lies a deep desire for connection, just not any connection. They crave people who can sit in silence without discomfort, talk about ideas rather than gossip, and explore the psychology of solitude without judgment. That's why they often attract others later in life, once they've mastered their own inner world. It's in those quiet years of reflection that they build a foundation of strength, one that the next chapter of their life will test and reveal in surprising ways. Emotional intelligence, the silent language of the alone. Here's something few people realize. People who are always alone often possess unusually high emotional intelligence. They've spent so much time observing their emotions and reactions that they've become fluent in their own inner language. While others react impulsively, they pause, analyze, and respond with intention. That calm, measured presence you sense in them, it's the result of years of self-reflection and mindset development. They understand that managing their emotions isn't about suppressing them. It's about translating feelings into wisdom. This emotional maturity is what makes them such good listeners. They pick up on things that most people miss: the tone behind the words, the hesitation in someone's voice, the hidden sadness behind a smile. They've walked through their own storms, so they can sense the weather in someone else's eyes. That's why misunderstood people often make great friends, partners, and mentors if you take the time to earn their trust. Their empathy runs deep, but it's also guarded. They don't open up easily, not because they don't care, but because they care too much. However, high emotional intelligence can feel like both a gift and a burden. It connects them deeply but can also overwhelm them. They feel everything, sometimes too intensely. This sensitivity can lead to social anxiety signs or a sense of being drained after interacting with large groups. But instead of seeing that as a flaw, they use solitude as emotional recovery. They know that protecting their peace is the same as protecting their clarity. And as their emotional awareness sharpens, something remarkable begins to happen. Their solitude transforms into a powerful tool for creation and purpose. Turning solitude into strength and purpose. At some point, people who are always alone realize that their solitude isn't a weakness, it's their greatest strength. Once they stop fighting it, something magical happens. Clarity replaces confusion, and direction replaces doubt. They start channeling that overthinking personality into productivity, writing, learning, creating, or even starting projects that reflect their inner world psychology. Many great thinkers and inventors throughout history, Einstein, Newton, Tesla, shared this trait. They embraced solitude not to escape life, but to understand it. It's proof that isolation can become incubation when guided by purpose. This transformation often begins with one simple mindset shift: being alone by choice. Instead of asking, "Why do I have no friends?" they start asking, "What can I build with this time?" That's the essence of mental health self-improvement. They read books on self-help motivation, practice mindfulness, or dive into deep self-reflection exercises. They use solitude as a personal workshop for mindset development, turning emotional wounds into wisdom and turning silence into strategy. Over time, that inner focus builds confidence that no external validation can shake. And here's the hidden beauty. Once they've mastered the art of solitude, they become magnetic. People are drawn to their calm energy, their self-assured silence, and their rare personality traits that radiate quiet power. They stop chasing connections and start attracting them naturally. That's when loneliness transforms into leadership, because those who've learned to walk alone can later guide others who are still lost in the noise. And that journey, from isolation to influence, is where everything we've talked about begins to come full circle. So, maybe being alone isn't such a bad thing after all. Maybe it's the universe's way of saying, it's time to meet yourself. People who are always alone often discover treasures within that others never touch. Emotional intelligence, deep self-reflection, rare mindset traits, and a quiet strength that can't be faked. The truth is, solitude can shape you into someone extraordinary, someone who's not afraid of silence, because in that silence, they've learned to hear their own voice. But here's the question. What will you do with this awareness? Will you keep seeing solitude as loneliness, or will you start using it as your superpower? Will you hide from your inner world, or explore it until you find your truth? Every moment you spend alone can become a moment of transformation, mindset development, and mental health self-improvement. You have the power to turn isolation into inspiration. You just need to choose it consciously. And if this message resonated with you, if you see yourself in these misunderstood people, in the psychology of solitude, in that lonely but strong mindset, then this channel is for you. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and keep walking with us through the depths of self-discovery, emotional mastery, and mindset growth. Because sometimes the ones who walk alone end up leading the way for everyone else.